The two of us might get to meet up at Disney World. In today's video, we're talking about some fun options to do together, both with and without our families.
Welcome to Always Planning Disney, where planning is half the fun. I'm Melissa.
And I'm Cheryl.
And on this channel, we talk through all of the details that go into making our vacations magical. So the last time we were each at Disney World, we had planned separate vacations, but it just so happened that they overlapped for a few days. So we met up to watch Fantasmic together in Hollywood Studios, which I have a soft spot for. And should our trips overlap again next time, which it looks like they might, we wanted to consider some other things that we could do together, either alone or with our families.
Yeah, I'm so excited at the possibility of this. So, what should we do, Melissa? What do you think?
The first thing that came to mind for me was attending an after hours event, but moms only. I think it would be a lot of fun. We could get so much done, just two adults in a park for 4 hours. You could do the whole thing. The big con for this, in addition to the cost of it, is that I know it's possibly past your usual bedtime and might require more shuffling of your plans than mine. So I don't know if this would actually make it to the final list of options.
We can keep it on our long list for now because we're going to have to see if our trips actually do overlap before we make a final selection. But yeah, there would be some yawning on my part. But I do have to say, this makes me wish that you had a built-in babysitter like we have, because we'll be traveling with my parents, so that we could do like a fully adults only after hours or a monorail bar crawl or something like that. I keep thinking of grown-up ideas like that, but that's not going to work because we're not going to just like abandon your children.
Yes. Yeah, that is one huge benefit of having a built-in babysitter on your trip, is you get to do some of those things that are adults only, that I've really been looking forward to and are probably a bit off in my future of Disney trips until the kids get older. I love the idea of the monorail crawl though. That sounds awesome. And so maybe it could just be you, Steve, and me.
Oh, poor Ray. We're already ditching him. Yeah, I'm in trouble with my husband just for this video existing, because he's like, you're just gonna ditch me. You and Melissa are gonna ditch me, aren't you? And I'm like, maybe we are. But I did come up with a few ideas that we could do with our whole families, because I think that our kids would get along really well, especially our boys, because they're not too far off in age. And I think they would just like chat hilarious things to one another the whole time. So I would be really excited for them to get to spend some time together. I think that would be fun. I think our husbands would probably get along too. So one idea that I had was spending our rest day or part of our rest day together and doing some resort activities, because we're both sort of trying to prioritize, for one thing, having a rest day, because we've confirmed we need it, and just enjoying the amenities of our resorts more this trip. So I thought it would be kind of in line with the values of both of our trips. And we're both thinking that we might be staying at the boardwalk. So maybe we could just put all of that together and do something together at the boardwalk. So I had a little trouble finding out what they're doing these days. I think some activities are happening, some activities are still shut down with COVID and staffing and all of that. But it looks like they have a few craft options, like sort of make and take project kind of things. They have movies under the stars we could do a little bit later on. And then there's all the activities just at the boardwalk itself. So like the games, the entertainment, the shopping, that kind of stuff. So we could do something like that. We could also very easily get over to mini golf at Fantasia Gardens. And that's a pretty inexpensive, at least in terms of Disney, thing for us to do. And that might be fun to just like play some mini golf and chat.
I love these ideas. I don't know why this didn't occur to me, because one of the things that has been plaguing me about the rest day is taking an entire day off from the parks and trying to ensure that we fill it in a way that is both restful and entertaining. And so I think doing something together would definitely help fill that time.
That could be fun. And it would be a lot easier to keep track of everyone too, because we would turn into a much bigger party and that might get a little chaotic in the parks.
Yes.
But if we did do something in the parks, I was thinking of a way that, again, we could all spend time together and do something that we all really enjoy. And so I was thinking we could do a stroll around the World Showcase in Epcot. We both love that. So that would be fun. And the cost is kind of whatever we wanted to make of it. But I was thinking we could actually save money with this because we'd have more people to split festival foods with. And so we could each kind of try a bite of everything. So that might be kind of fun. We could get some delicious adult beverages and just wander around, hit up some rides around the World Showcase. And the kids could do what I think there's almost always a scavenger hunt running now. So they could do whatever scavenger hunt is going on and have fun with that.
This is another brilliant idea. I love World Showcase. It is my favorite walk. I will just circle it repeatedly during my trips when I go there. Such an expensive walk to take, but I love it. And I do think the boys would really enjoy the scavenger hunt. As we've talked about many times, my son is not the biggest fan of rides, but he would definitely be into doing a scavenger hunt, especially with somebody else. He's incredibly social and likes teamwork. This is a lovely idea.
Yeah, I could see them having a lot of fun working together on that instead of, working with mom or dad. Yeah. Okay. So that's some of the more like, normal trip stuff that we could just do together and it would be really fun. But I did have some ideas about things that we could do that are a little more special. And so I'm kind of going, when I was putting my notes in with yours, I was thinking about like least expensive to most extravagant. So one thing that's actually not too bad would be doing a photo session in front of the castle. They have those capture your moment photo sessions where you get your own dedicated photographer for 20 minutes. It's $50, which I think is really reasonable for having a professional photographer. And when we met up at Fantasmic, which was the first time we had met in person, we didn't even take a selfie together. So I thought it would be on the schedule, Melissa, like we would have to take the picture and it would not be a picture taken either as a selfie or by our husbands. So it would maybe be a little nicer picture.
Or by a child. I have lots of pictures of me taken by children. So
that's true. Be a little nicer. We could use it for our social media.
It's a good idea. And that price is reasonable for a Disney add-on.
Yeah, I think so.
So some of the things I thought of were related to fireworks parties, which is sort of an interesting thing that I would even think of it because I don't always sit and watch an entire fireworks show. We're typically running around the park. And also, I don't care for dessert that much. However, there is the fairy tale fireworks dessert cruise at Magic Kingdom, and it seems like a pretty special fireworks viewing splurge that we could partake in. And the Magic Kingdom dessert party on the cruise has key lime tarts. So while I don't like many desserts, I do love key lime. So would I spend $100 to go on a boat and eat key lime? I don't know, but apparently I'm thinking of it at least. But Epcot also has a fireworks cruise, and that one is private. So whereas the Magic Kingdom fireworks dessert cruise, you pay per adult or child and you're on a boat with, I don't know how many people. Epcot, you're buying the whole boat up to 10 people, which is a pretty attractive option. However, I don't know how I feel about these dessert cruises because you have to show up really early, like an hour early. Which cuts down on park time. And then you're also trapped on a boat. And I don't know if kids are always going to want to spend that much time waiting on a boat and then staying on the boat. So I don't know. This one might be a miss. Also, the Magic Kingdom one is not all that affordable, I think, for what it is. It sits at $100 per adult. That's pretty pricey. And to my surprise, the Epcot fireworks cruise does not have alcohol on the boat, which seems absurd to me, but I guess we have to sneak it ourselves.
You don't have to sneak it because I have seen vlogs from these Epcot fireworks cruises, and you can just like make a stop at your country of choice on your way to the loading area. But yeah, it would be a BYOB situation, which does seem a little bit crazy when you're paying $400 for the boat and then you have to bring your own drinks on top of that. I don't know. I think I would do a dessert party over a cruise because I like dessert. I mean, I'll just say that. I like dessert. I like fireworks. I do normally watch the whole fireworks show and cry. But I think the view is a little bit better from the dessert party locations versus like farther back or like way up close if you're in Epcot. And then my big concern, and the reason why I didn't book a cruise last time, even though my dad loves boats and would have had a great time on it, boats don't have bathrooms. And when you've got some small children along, that just worries me. I don't know about that.
It worries me for myself too, because I think if I know there isn't a bathroom,
yes,
then that's when I'm going to need one.
Yes, me too. And I've definitely had some emergency bathroom runs at Disney World. And if you're trapped in a boat, you got no bathroom. That's scary.
It's a nice thought. I don't think it's a fit. There's also a fireworks party at the Contemporary, which is pretty pricey at $120 per adult. This is a very grown-up experience. I'm sure the food and drinks are excellent. You're not trapped on a boat. This would be good adult time. However, there's a dress code, and I would probably have to change. I don't know if my like regular park wear would transition well into like an evening event at the Contemporary. And it would also have to be definitely without the full families, because I would never spend this much or take them to something quite that upscale to watch fireworks.
Yeah, so we'd have to figure out what to do with your kids.
Yeah, again.
We'd have to ask my parents if they would watch your kids.
Yeah.
So we could go have a grown-up night. But yeah, I'm sure the food is amazing. And I did think just like going to a sit-down restaurant with your family would be really fun, because like all of us really enjoy food, except for your son, your non-eater son, but everybody else really enjoys food. And your son and my son can have chicken nuggets together and we'll all have a good time.
Sounds good. Yeah, I think I would much rather just schedule a sit down, all of us together, than pay that type of money for the Contemporary fireworks party.
Yeah.
But if we're talking about spending money, a little while ago, you sent me a text and you proposed a pretty interesting idea. So what was that?
Yeah, so this video all started when I said, hey, Melissa, why don't we do a VIP tour if our trips overlap? And a VIP tour is a very expensive way to experience Disney World. You get your own tour guide that takes you around to basically wherever you would like to go. They'll arrange the day for you. They will help you get between parks, and they just make the magic happen for you all day long. You're paying for it by the hour for up to 10 people. And there is a minimum of 7 hours. So you can't do a VIP tour for just like 3 hours, which would be a more reasonable price. It's an all-day experience, essentially. So it would be a lot of money, but it would be less money because we would have more people.
Yes. And I think the thing that makes this a really attractive idea is we get to choose everything, and you get everything. You get behind the scenes stuff, you get your transportation. I'm sure skipping lines is much easier this way. The big con is the price, and then also the 7-hour minimum. That's a lot of time to devote to something. And for some reason, the amount of time allocated to the VIP tour is the hardest thing for me to be able to commit to, because a lot of times we just show up and we do whatever speaks to us. And so we're definitely devoting a full day to this experience.
It does feel like just a lot, right? And for me, like I think the whole appeal of a VIP tour is supposed to be let somebody else plan your day and just go along with it. Like you tell them what you want to do and they'll make it happen for you. And like, I kind of like being that person. And so relinquishing control of the trip for a day would be a little bit challenging for me.
I'm going to have to watch some videos and read some accounts of people who have done this to see what it's like when you're actually experiencing it, because it is a substantial amount of money. In addition to having park tickets to start with. I don't know. I feel like if you're spending thousands of dollars on an experience, the park ticket should be rolled into that price, but it is not. So you need to have your park tickets in addition.
Yeah. I don't know about that one. It's very tempting. I think mostly because I want to feel special and like have my own cast member taking me around for all of the special things. But you found something even more special. So I had not heard of this. Tell me all about it.
Yeah, so when I was looking into the custom VIP tours on the Disney World website, I saw that they are offering a 50th anniversary VIP tour at an undisclosed price, not publicly available on the website. But this is a limited edition experience that, just like any other tour, includes transportation, a cast member who will be your host for the day, but it also starts off with a champagne toast, takes you to some of the most popular and preferred rides and attractions. And the day is split between Magic Kingdom in the morning and Epcot in the afternoon, which includes a lunch at Be Our Guest and then dinner at Space 220. But you also get a tour of the Cinderella suite, which is something that is very hard to come by at Disney. And you also are guaranteed a spot on Remy's Ratatouille Adventure. So seeing the Cinderella suite would be a big draw for me, along with some of, the behind the scenes history. And I bet they have all types of things rolled into this 50th anniversary tour that you wouldn't get to hear about otherwise. It's Disney. I'm sure it's a wonderful experience. The cons of this for me, well, first of all, who knows what it costs? Also, the groups are limited to only a total of 6 people, and you have to be 12 years old and up, which is problematic for our groups. Also, the addition of Be Our Guest for lunch is great, but I've been there enough. It's not really on my list to return to. And Space 220, as we've talked about, is going to require a lot of me to master my anxiety, which I have not yet. So the restaurant add-ins on this are beautiful for other people, but probably not for me.
Yeah, I wonder if they would take substitutions. Presumably, this is a very expensive experience. And so I would hope that you could substitute another restaurant, but I don't know. It also seems like sort of a prefix menu situation, right? Where they already have everything slated for you. Man, that Cinderella suite part, that's what I'm really excited about. I want to get in there so badly, so badly. So this is where my husband said, like, you're just going to do this with Melissa, aren't you? And I'm like, yeah, we might just do this because like we're the ones who will appreciate it the most. And if we could just skip the space part of it, I feel like it would be a really good time.
I think if I had like a substantial drink right before Space 220, I could survive a fake elevator and fake view of the Earth. I don't know. Maybe like 25% chance a drink is all it would take for me.
I will hold your hand if that will help.
I'd have to close my eyes. I think I would just have to close my eyes.
Yeah. Yeah. And there still have to be exit signs in there. So you can look at the exit sign.
Yeah. Just how I survive many things at Disney. If I could do the stretching room, which I think is comparable to being in like a circular trapped space full of people, I can do that barely, but I've survived it every trip so far. So I might, it's possible.
I do think that's pretty comparable. And it seems like about the same amount of time as well. So yeah, you can do it.
Well, if we aren't going to spend thousands of dollars, I also have an honorable mention of a smallish activity we could do, which is behind the scenes. We have talked about this before. I really love living with the land. I know I'm one of the few, I think, who will rally so hard for living with the land, but I enjoy it. And for $29, you get a behind the scenes tour. I have no idea what they cover on that, but I had this on my list of something to do all by myself on the next trip anyway. It's not the most epic adventure for us, but I was planning on doing it to begin with.
Yeah, this is on our list too. There's so many fun little tours that I hope come back because I don't think they have yet. So there are some over at Animal Kingdom, there are some at Magic Kingdom. But this one seems really fun. And I think it at least was the least expensive of them. So it's really a good price for a behind the scenes tour. I'm not sure how exciting it would be if we wanted to bring the kids along. Like, I'm just not sure. So I would have to look at some reviews and see, is this really just an adult's experience or would the kids have fun too?
And I hope that they bring back more of these behind the scene, like individual options that we can purchase, because then that way we could have that control we so desire and piece together our own VIP experience.
Yeah, without spending the thousands upon thousands of dollars that the actual VIP experience requires. So I guess we'll have to talk more in a later episode once we figure out both of our trip dates and see if we are overlapping and what we might be able to fit in. All right, thanks so much for tuning in. We'd love to hear what you think we should do for a special Disney World meetup. And remember to like and subscribe to plan along with us.